3 coplanar points, and bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
On the level.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really
totally
is.
agree.
Level. It really
totally
is.
agree.
Level.
And bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
Let me.
Where do I look?
I'm gonna have to. So, is that camera on?
See the camera come on there, Grimv?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Nice. Oh, I love this. Let's go.
Right.
I like it already.
So, what is it exactly? Because you noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Didn't want to say
You
anything.
do realise. Have you had any practical experience of anything? To do with levelling or like see this here? This is an auto level. You ever seen one of them? Used one?
Yeah, man.
That's for a little person.
I can build my own house.
Okay, so you've used an auto level then, right?
Yeah.
You've used a spirit level,
Yes.
right?
I have one right here.
What about water level?
Nope. Never used one.
Never see. Have you never even seen a water level?
Not the one you have. No. Never seen it.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, Grimv.
You've never seen one of these,
No.
right? It literally, it's just a tube,
All right.
right? You fill it with water,
Got you.
and then the water levels out, right? So you can.
Oh, I see. So if there's any interaction within a movement within the tube, you'll be able to tell which side of the interaction the tube is, or whatever is being elevated, because it'll raise the level on the other side, right? The water level.
Yeah, the
So
water.
if the left side is
water
elevated, the
equalises
water will
itself.
rise up on the right side.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So the water does that, right? Now, it is this one's just a tube like this, but how long do you reckon you could make one of these? Well, how long a tube do you reckon you could make, or you could have, and just fill it with water?
I'm not sure, man. I don't know. Would it even matter, or like? I guess I would have to try and put the tube on some different types of surfaces to see what, you know what I mean? What kind of variables I could work with.
Right. Well, I've got like this one here as well. See this? This is two ends of a water level. You see that?
Okay.
There.
It's coming in clear.
It's got water in it. You can see the way the water's there. Right. Well,
Okay, there it is. Down to the center area.
this tube's 100 meters long. So
okay.
So the water level, right, equalizes out. Now, the cool thing about it is that the water levels like that, and this is what the test was, right? So you've got a water level, and it goes all the way like that, right? And then you fill it up with water, right?
So here's a question.
It'd equalise out.
Here's a question.
Okay.
It wouldn't be any different on a globe than a flat plane, would it?
Well,
why would it be any different?
What do you think?
I don't think it would.
What wouldn't
just
be
by
different?
not really thinking about it very much, but I just don't think it would be very different, even if it were on a, like, you take your tube there, right? Put the tube levels, a foot off the ground, a few feet apart from each other,
yep.
Right? With enough slack in the middle to wrap around the arch of a basketball, yep. Evenly, yep. And you'll see the levels will be the same even when they're wrapped around the basketball as to when they're flat, as long as they are in their position and
horizontal,
it's even,
right?
Right. If it's even, as long as that whatever's happening in the middle is even, then both sides will be even.
Dead straight line, right? I mean, that's what we did. The initial test was like this. So, in your imagination, right, or in reality or whatever, let's say we've got this test here, right, this tube.
Yes.
And how good's your maths with the model? Are you any good at it?
Well, no, not really. I don't have to. I wouldn't even have to do any math.
Would you not?
Not really.
If
No.
we were
I
to
would
say,
just.
if we were to say this was 1 mile,
No. Just make it a couple feet, like you could do it right now. You could just make it a few feet, and draw underneath right where you are, right in the center, underneath that line.
Yeah.
Draw a basketball, right, and then like lift that basketball right up into that line. Imagine that. Yeah, just push it right up.
put
Right
this
up
up
into
here.
right at the center, though. Yeah,
There.
yeah. Right there, and then draw a line from the center point of your square, like a hump, like right to the other line, right around the projector.
A what?
You know what I mean? A perfect center hump, like the
Okay.
basketball.
Yeah. That's what we do, right?
Yeah, just trace that. Yeah, trace that
We
where you
have
have
this
it.
coming
Right.
over here, right? And then we'll put a water level in there, right? So we've filled it up. At what
Oh,
level
I
would
see.
you put it there?
Yeah, this is why that part doesn't matter, because if
What
you
do you
take
mean?
the ball and you just, God, I wish I had my, I wish I
He's
could touch the
envisioning a
blackboard.
hump.
I know, yeah, I think he
Right.
is. Right, so,
I am.
okay.
No. I'm saying put just to, because it's about eliminating variables. Like, see, is this going to be different if it's this way than if it's flat?
Okay,
So
right,
I
but
want to
what
put the
we do,
ball
Grim,
in the middle.
just to get us
Push
a
up.
second before you carry on, right? In
Yeah.
order for it to make what we're talking about here clearer for all of us, can we, because we've been doing a bit of logic at the beginning, right? Can we say, as a statement, right, that there's curvature here? What you're going to try and
No, not for
describe
us.
is some sort of curvature, and from which
Not for us.
can I stay though for as a logical statement? Would you be okay for us to say, if the Earth
That's better.
is a spherical object, right? Is that a good statement? Are you happy with that?
So far, right?
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
P.
It's a half a statement, right?
P. Yeah. If then, right? Then, if the Earth is a spherical object, then the surface of liquid water must curve. Would you be okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. So this is a water level, and level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference. So, when we go here, what are you imagining? Because
Okay. So if I go right in the center point,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yeah.
And I lift the center point up,
Yep.
right? The water level on either side, both sides will lift up equally. Correct?
So if we go like this and get this
If I just pull, yeah,
this
yes,
water
exactly
level,
like
so
that.
these bits here and here,
Will go up.
and if we lift this up here, like put it over there, they'll lift up. Oh, no, it still
They should.
functions. No, they shouldn't. It still functions as a water level because the water is making its own level. Now, there is a maximum
it'll be
distance that can go up there, but I don't think you're ready for that yet. But the idea is that these establish a horizontal plane of reference, right? So from this point here, one point at one end, to this point here at the other end, you just draw a straight line, don't you? I mean, that's geometrically speaking, that's what we do. So if you don't really know your numbers, the easiest number would be to make this 2 miles, right, from this side to this side,
Okay.
which would make the straight line across there. And you know what the difference would be there at 1 mile? Do you know the model?
Oh, yeah.
you
Well,
even-
no, of course not.
Do you
I
even
don't
know what the
know
model states?
even how the
would happen
No.
over a mile?
not with this level. I have no idea.
What does the model
You
state
should-
happens over a mile?
Oh, you have I don't know, about 8 inches of curvature.
Oh, right. 8 inches of
A
curve.
drop or a
Tangential
hump?
curvature.
Yeah, to drop
Neither.
or hump.
Well, no, you're not going from a horizontal line on that
Oh, yeah, we
outside.
are.
You're
Yeah,
going
from
with the
one end
tangent
to
of
the
the
other.
gravity.
Yeah, from one end to the other. Straight across. Straight across.
You
Think
don't know
about
that
this,
it's straight
Grim.
across.
Think
You're
about this.
assuming it's straight across.
Mhm.
It's the pressure is the same, but the
that's 2
pressure is
miles.
even on a
Do you know
sphere.
what the numbers for 2 miles is? Because it's a quadratic equation, isn't it?
For squared, right? So it's
Yeah.
8 inches per mile squared. So it's
Right,
probably
yeah.
about a little over a foot and a half,
32 inches it is, isn't it? 2 miles, I think.
or two. Yeah, it's over two and a, yeah.
Because it's 4 times 8.
Almost two. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah. Right. So
But still,
that's why I said
that's
here
not
at 2 miles.
drop.
But that's
not drop.
It's
though.
not a drop.
You're looking for it's not drop. That would
make this
are the
water
same
level
pressure.
here drop 32 inches, and that can't happen,
If
can
you're-
it? Because
Only
water
if you're
level doesn't
assuming
drop.
it's flat, right? If you're
I'm not
assuming
assuming
it's flat, but
anything. I'm
in the
assuming
round
that a
model,
water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal
Well-
plane of reference. That's all we're doing here.
yeah, but you understand that even in their model, that's accounted for the tangential
What's accounted for?
pressure of the gravity. Well, it's not really about level over a super long distance. It's when you're using that thing.
There's definitely
Because
water levels that are even longer than 2 miles. Definitely. I mean, Jesse Kozlowski did that one with Rakia's Bridge, and that's 23.7 miles. Isn't it?
No, what I'm
But
saying
we're
is
keeping the
even-
numbers right here. So
They work both. They both
Okay, well,
work
what's
for,
this
for
here,
what you're
then?
trying to
Let's see
say
if we
and
got a
think,
line there.
and for what they're trying to say and think, Bev.
okay,
Right,
so,
that's local. I understand that.
but yeah, but
if you
this is
stretch
from
that
one
out-
end to the other, right? Because the water
You
level.
understood that when you put that, when you put that hump in the middle, you
What
noticed
hump?
that your levels
not
were
put a
still
hump in the
showing
middle.
level. Dude, when you put that hump in the middle that was balanced in the center and you made it a hump, the water levels were still level. So it works
Oh, you
both
mean
ways.
this? When
dude.
I
That's
do
all I'm trying to
this?
say. No, the
No, I
other
think
one.
you
When
mean
put
with
the
the
fluid
actual
liquid
pipe.
in the tubes
Yeah.
and you put it up in the center,
Yep.
they still were level.
Yep.
When you did it in the
Yeah.
even. So with curvature it would also be level, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's
Yeah, from the
not a
end.
good
No,
test
from one
to
end
tell
to
the
the
difference
other.
between one or the other because it works the same on both.
What do you mean it works the same on both?
Oh my goodness.
Can I
This
get a
guy's a
question?
lot of talking and not much listening at all.
Bev, can I just get a question from Grim? Right, Grim, if Bev hooks the water level above the whiteboard again, go on, Bev, like that hump going above. Do you think that distance between the water levels on either side and the hump in the middle, do you think there's any maximum limit to that distance?
Yeah, it would be the tangential of the tangent of the Earth's gravity would be
What
basically
tangent?
the maximum distance.
Tangent of Earth's
Tangent of
gra-
gravity.
What are you?
Yeah, because you're going on the surface.
What's the dude?
You're
What's
going
the
along the
tangent
surface
of
of
gravity?
the planet. That's
Is gravity
listen,
a circle?
This is the model. I'm just trying to show you that even if I do or do not believe their model, right? That their model still explains this.
Grim. I don't
So
think
it's
they.
not, I'm not
I've
debunking
never
them
heard
yet.
them
This is your
say.
understanding of what you've been told, yeah? This is your, yeah.
He's trying to tell us.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Look, you've seen it for yourself. He lifted the middle up, and it's not a bunch of difference.
There will
So
be
if
no
you're just
difference.
across-
Why would there be any difference?
Right. So if you're going
Where's
across,
the tangent?
just
please?
assume
So I
you're going
think
across a curvature, and you're not going to get any difference there either. It's
Yeah,
just gonna be
he's
like,
saying that the water is always level.
Yeah.
He's agreeing, aren't you? You're saying that
disagreeing.
water will
well, yeah,
stay
I
level.
am agreeing. In a way,
Yeah.
I am exactly. I'm saying that it will stay level on those sides. And I mean, unless he pulls one side up over, like if he shortened the string on the left or the tube on the left and left more string on the right, then we would have a difference in the levels between the two.
String.
String. Well, I'm calling it string, but you know the tube. I call it tube to
Dude,
correct
you're
myself
just,
when I
uh,
hear the word
thinking of
string.
You're
the
just,
ground?
dude, you're just
Are you thinking of the
conflating
ground,
elevation. Whoops, sorry. Grim, can you hear me? You're just conflating
I
elevation
hear
with
you.
curvature, right? Do you know what?
Well, no,
If you had an
I'm saying
8-inch
that
drop,
I'm saying that's what's that curvature and elevation. Those are both being read the same way on this level.
no, they're not.
Unless you're starting from one end, it's elevated higher than another. But elevation in the middle, yes. If it's both ends are same on the other sides, right? They're
You
both
just said it right
foot off
there.
the ground,
If you
right?
have
And
an
the
elevation
elevation
change in
rises
the
in the
middle,
middle, then there's no elevation change in the bubbles of the water on the
What
sides. Though.
bubbles? Grim, please.
The bubble levels.
What
The bubbles are
bubbles?
beyond.
It's a water level. It's just
I
got
understand
water
that,
in
dude. But
it.
I'm just saying the air between the top and the water
It's just
on the bottom of
air,
your little
right? That's
metric
not
right
water.
there.
You can see where the level of the water is,
Right.
and above
Air,
that is
water,
air.
Right. Quit being semantic, and you're
No,
distracted from the
it's
point I'm
not.
trying
This
to
is
make.
being
It's not about a
realistic,
bubble
Grim.
or anything.
You're trying to explain something that you don't seem to understand, and I don't want you to get confused. That's all.
No, I'm trying. I'm
He's
doing the
doing
same
too
thing.
much
Like
talking
I'm
and
saying,
not enough listening.
who, me or him?
Yeah, you.
you never stop talking. You never listen. You always talk.
So why don't you just shut the fuck up and listen for about, I don't know, 20 minutes? It won't take long.
So, did you see the test, or what this
Wait,
is meant to show you?
is that how
Grim?
you want this guy
See
talking to
how
me
he
right
does
now?
it?
Yeah.
See how he
Well, I'm
does?
just saying,
You're
you're
the
talking,
one that called
you
Bev
don't
a
tell somebody to
shill,
shut
so
the
why don't
fuck
you just
up.
shut the fuck up, you
I didn't
dick?
call him a shill. I said you can be seen as a shill in my opinion, if you're shutting down other conversations, man. Stop being an asshole.
But Grim,
Coming from you.
Grim,
Yeah, coming
Why the
from me.
fuck is this guy in here anyway? He doesn't want to
Anyways,
learn.
Yeah.
just wait.
He's just too
It's
busy
not-
fucking running his mouth.
It's not semantics, Grim. Like that's water. That's a real fucking liquid from
I
the
don't have
Earth's
it.
covered in the stuff.
I don't have it. I don't know.
He's got. The only reason I wanted you to see it is because it's not just words, right?
Well, thanks,
It's
Mo.
not just about language.
Yeah.
He's
I appreciate it. I'm really, literally trying to understand what he's saying, right?
I'm trying to show you.
He's using like a water level.
What it is
I've got a
Grim,
really
you're
high
trying
IQ,
to
bro.
understand what he's saying, and by trying to understand what he's saying, you're talking all over him and then not actually hearing what he's trying to say. So it's just like maybe just sit back and have a listen for a bit, and then.
That's what I was doing. You know, I've been very patient. I am listening to him. You're being really rude.
I know
by
you are, but
insinuating
just
I'm
like
not. And I don't even dislike Bev.
Wow.
Can I just say what?
Being rude to you? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, by telling somebody to shut the fuck up, that's not being rude.
No, that
and
was
you're all
me.
going, ha 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 ha.
That was me.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm not familiar with everybody's voices yet.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with everybody's voices yet, right? And you sure didn't defend that. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we're way
being
too
rude by
familiar
allowing
with
other
yours
people to
already.
treat me like shit, and I'm not even being rude.
It's not about treating you like shit. It's just, Bev, water's not lying.
Can I?
Water doesn't lie, Grim.
Can I try and
Yeah, but
explain this
nobody's-
to you, Grim, or are you done with it? Do you want to hear it or not?
I thought we were talking, and then all of a sudden, we're not. So I don't know what happened.
You said they were
Yeah, your
saying.
defense mechanism is to run your mouth. If you just stop doing that, you might be all right. Okay.
Are you projecting it right now?
Oh my God!
No,
just let
he's-
Bev do the thing.
Yeah,
I know.
Just,
Quit trying to
just
come
sit
in with a
down.
side slap, bitch, and just let Bev talk.
Well,
Yeah, take your own advice.
that's a really good idea, Grim. Why don't, as Cleary said, you take your own advice?
Pete and repeat, we're on a boat. You fucking guy.
Okay, Grim.
So Bev, I'm actually enjoying our conversation. I don't know where the rest of this shit's going.
Okay. Well, like we say, this is to show you how there is a difference between a curve and a straight.
Mm-hmm.
You say they're the
And
same.
I'm seeing that. I'm just trying to work it out to where I can, in my mind, see why, why it would be different. Because of, like, if you just, I'm going to listen for a minute while you explain, a little more. But I
Okay.
have one question after you. Yeah.
Basic
Bev,
fundamental.
can I say something?
Go on.
I don't know if this might help Grim, because it won't affect what you're doing there. And that bottom line, I know, he was on it about seeing it curved, right? So if that bottom line was curved, and then ask him where he thinks that centre would be in accordance to the land underneath, because I think that they think that the land curves and that bit curves as well. You know, they need to understand that it doesn't matter what's going on below that water line.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's what moving
I
that
agree with you.
centre
That's
of
what
the
I think. He
tube is.
thinks it's about the land.
Yeah.
So if you draw take that thing and draw a circle,
don't appease
maybe
them
do the drop
by
thing.
drawing circles, right? It's all about the water level, right? It doesn't matter where the circle is between this water level at all. Won't make any difference to any water level ever. Doesn't give a shit what's underneath it. This level, when it's level like this, right? Doesn't matter what's underneath here at all.
True.
So that's
True.
all the level is. That's all we're doing here. Is with this level. This is what we're bothered about. Okay?
So you're basically saying that it doesn't matter what's going on in the middle there.
For this test.
You might as well take a spirit level, right, and put it a mile away, and then walk over a mile, and then put the spirit level over on the other side and say, look, the bubble rises to the top, therefore it's flat.
Okay.
And what's
It's the same-
joining
you might as
the
well-
two spirit levels?
Can I just do this? Grim.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm here.
right. So this is the basic fundamentals of geometry. Right? You can make a line from one point to another. And the shortest distance possible from this point to this point is a straight line.
Straight line. Yes, sir.
Absolutely straight. Right? You would
Yes.
agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, this is a water level, and this tube can be as long as you want, I say.
Okay.
Unless you want to put some sort of limit on how long this tube could be. But, no matter how long the tube is, this water will equal out, right? To be what we call level. So both, each end, even elevation, even altitude would be even better, right? Because it's above the floor.
And right, and that doesn't contradict the globe's model, though. Those guys aren't seeing
All right, and
that as a contradiction.
this happens in reality, right? Nobody's going to deny these facts because it does happen in reality, right? That's where we're going.
That's right. Like if I were to take one end and lift it up, right?
Yeah.
I'm just asking a question, just to clarify. So if I took one end and I lifted it up over there, like say you take your left hand there, the left side, and I lifted up 1 foot higher on one side than the other, right?
Yeah.
Then it would reflect a difference on the other side.
Yeah, the water would piss out. That's exactly where I'm going, right? Next step was, it is the shortest distance from there to there. Now, if we were to make that line any different, you would come down here, making a triangle with a right angle here, and this, from here, this point, to here, would be the hypotenuse. The longest side of a triangle, right? Which is longer than the shortest distance. Right? So this end here of the water couldn't be down here 2 inches because it wouldn't be level, would it? Because it'd be the longest path, not the shortest path.
Yeah, I completely understand where you're...
So there's never going to be a drop from one end to the other, is there?
Right, and there's no claim on the ball Earth that there is.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Sure.
I mean, you seem to be defending the ball model. Okay. I mean, they'll be happy for you to do that. They will.
Because Larry said this the other day. For you
Jesse
Kozlowski
said.
I'm just trying to. Never mind.
Jesse Kozlowski said the water level drops from horizontal at a rate of 8 inches times the distance in miles squared.
Yeah, from an imaginary horizontal line above the horizon, not right. You're missing the point. You've lowered the horizontal.
Yeah.
No, the horizontal, and the one they're talking about
This
is not a horizontal. I think you know too. The horizontal is not the one
You
they're
think
talking
I know
about, not the
what?
one you're doing, not on the surface. The horizontal that they're talking about is elevated off of the surface,
Yeah,
so
this
that you
is
can then measure the difference
elevation.
between the surface and no,
Yeah.
man, you're
Even
missing this on
elevation,
purpose. I think.
even altitude. Yeah.
It is even altitude.
Yeah,
That's
it
correct.
is.
It's even altitude, but even altitude on a sphere is also even altitude,
What
right?
do you mean?
So if I'm on
It's
the
a straight line.
well, it's only a straight line because you're locally looking at a straight line. You're locally doing that very short. If you could prove it was a straight line by doing what you're doing right there, it'd be really easy. But it's not that easy, and I think we all know that. So it doesn't matter. Even on a sphere, that level is not going to be pissing out of the side of the other one. You're not doing it that way. They're both at sea level. That's sea level. One's not higher than sea level, right?
No,
it's
they're
sea
both-
level.
See what you're
both
doing,
level.
Grim? You're going on the geoid right away.
No, he's
You're
let
thinking
him go.
center
I'm
gravity
telling
let
you-
him go. He's
that's not
rambling.
geoid.
It's his cog disc.
Well,
He's
I'm
just
doing
going.
that. I'm
He's
doing that
blurting it out.
because
He
because
doesn't even
that
know what he's
is
saying. It's
their
just coming
model.
out.
If I want to
spewing out.
debunk their model, right, I have to actually debunk it properly.
You're talking
That's
about
what
their
I'm trying to
model
say,
then.
like,
Okay,
to
let's
use-
go. Come on, Grim. We know the numbers.
No,
We're
their
here.
model.
We're ready
the
to go.
baller model.
Come on, let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Calm down. I'm already
Grim,
there.
you're not gonna
Did you not
debunk
realize
their
that?
model
Grim,
because
come
it's
on.
a model.
No,
8
I'm talking
inches.
about
8 inches per mile, right? I say it's a straight line. It's a horizontal from there to there because this can't be lower, as I just explained, geometrically, because that's what we're dealing with here, shapes. Right? Geometric shapes. So,
Right.
I will do what happens in reality on here now, right? So if I go, that's about there, so that's about there, and this water, if we fill it up, that's what will happen, right? In reality.
You could easily. You could fix this right now.
That's level, that's a
I can make
horizontal. Grim, do you agree that is what would happen in reality?
You already did it for us. When you lifted up the center
Us?
and nothing happened, that was
Did you
it.
just say us?
Right. When you
Who's-
lifted up the
who's-
center
who's
and nothing
Team
happened,
Grim?
you showed us already on your video that's what would happen on a curve, and nothing would happen on a curve or on a flat.
What do
Any
you mean
different.
that's what had
As long
happened?
as long as it's balanced in the center and the left
Balanced.
side doesn't go up more than the right
It's
side,
a water level.
then right, the center can go up though. You understand how you're proving the globe model when you're doing that.
What do you mean?
You're proving that the globe can
No.
not. You're
No, this
proving
is
that
a
the hump in
different
the
vial.
middle.
This is a
You're
different
proving that the
vial,
hump in
Grim.
the middle, which you say doesn't exist, won't change your water level at all.
Grim, why do you
why
not want to do this? I mean, is this your model or not? Is this somebody else's model? Why are you defending it as an us,
No, I wanna-
us and them sort of thing?
Actually, my aspirations are to destroy the globe model.
Okay,
You
so
actually
what
pay attention
happens
to
in
what
the
I'm really
globe
doing.
model?
But
Grim?
you're not giving
Why
me
can't
anything
you
I can
tell me
work
what
with.
you think happens in the globe model?
Man, you're not really giving me because
2
you
miles.
just did it for me.
2
You lifted up
miles.
the center and the water levels
2
remain level,
miles.
bro.
This is horizontal, right? Is
Do it
that
again
what
for
you
everybody
say?
real quick,
Jesse
just for the sake of
Kozlowski
fucking
doesn't
bullshit
say that,
and
Grim,
shits
does
and
he?
giggles.
Jesse
Lift up the center
Kozlowski
of the
says
water level again.
This guy's never going to shut up. He's never going
Jesse
to stop.
Kozlowski says it drops 8
I'm at
inches.
one-
So
I'm at
should we
one.
move
I
it
think he's
down?
confused. He
have one
doesn't
request.
understand that there's 3 open tubes on the same line. He thinks the middle is the middle of the pipe.
Yeah, I know, but he
Well,
has
take
to
that
do
o-
that, don't you, Grim?
On the drawing, it's not, but in the reality, it
In
is.
what
because
reality
he
it
literally
is?
has the 2 pipes. The pipe that you're not
This is
pointing
reality.
at, that's
Where do
hanging
you
down
think-
below.
where do you think we're drawing
the 2
this,
water
Grim?
levels that are on either side of the board? That's the reality. They are actually right there.
Yeah.
If you pick up the center of that fluid
Yeah.
pipe,
Yeah.
lift it evenly, straight
but
up.
that's
through
not
your
that, that's
diagram,
not what
you'll
happened
see
in
that
here,
your water
Grim.
levels remain
Grim.
level,
Grim.
and that there's a hump in the middle
Grim.
that you can measure.
Grim.
And the water
Grim.
levels are still level.
Grim, that isn't what's happening here.
Well, fuck,
Grim.
you just get one sentence out without being interrupted.
Grim, that isn't what. Yeah, because you keep misrepresenting what is actually happening here.
No, I'm asking you to do it again. I'm not misrepresenting anything. You just do it again. I'm
All right,
asking you.
Here we
Lift
go.
up the center.
Here we go. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll show you the other test, right? And I'll just to make it easy because you only like these.
How come you guys aren't asking him to do this?
You get confused when we do.
You're wrong about the center bit.
So what we'll do?
You're wrong about it.
If I'm wrong, just lift it up. If I'm wrong, just lift it up and show me I'm wrong, real quick, for the sake of shits and giggles. Why not?
You're just arguing from ignorance, man. It's your tactic.
Who here is not interested in having him lift that up just for me?
We already know about the middle bit. You don't.
Okay, so how are you trying to say it just proves a globe if you know that the middle can be humped up and not cause any difference on either side?
How about that then, Grim?
Fuck.
Let's go.
I got my point.
Let's go, Grim. How about that?
Why draw something else?
How about that, Grim?
Lift up the
How about that, Grim?
That's great.
How about that?
I appreciate your drawing.
Where do we put the water for these blue ones in the middle? Where do we do that?
You just now you're in a quarter. You just move over to the middle of the new drawings that you just made. Yep. Take the real hose that you have right there.
The water level's here.
Grab this,
and it's here.
Bev.
It's level at this
Bev,
end.
I'll give you $5 if you just grab the center of that hose
and
lift it up.
Where's it going to be here? On this one.
You guys see
just on this side here.
I'm asking him to do the same thing over and over again, just not paying attention to it.
Well, there must be a reason, Grim, why he's
doing it,
right? Come on, Grim. Right? What are you asking me to do, Grim?
The reason would be my point would sound a lot more sound if he did it, and he doesn't want that to happen.
Come on, Grim.
And
Grim.
I don't care. I really don't care.
Grim.
I don't want to disprove you guys. So just walk away. I'll walk.
Grim,
story.
You go in. You tapping out. See you later. If you can't hack it, Grim, you can go.
I listened.
Yeah.
I'm still listening.
Right. Where does the water go on these ones?
You can't shut up long enough to listen.
I proved that.
How do you listen? How do you listen with your mouth running the whole time? I can't even listen.
Rakia, come on, man.
Hang on.
I can't listen because you never shut up.
Yeah, but poor Bev.
This is what he does, man. This is what he does. Everywhere he goes, he runs his mouth, never listens, constantly disrupting, like he's some kind of genius. He doesn't understand shit. He doesn't want to learn.
It's being disrespectful to Bev, though, I think.
Wow.
Do you want to know
I guess
this
we all have
test
our own
or not,
personalities.
Grim?
I'm literally trying to be the nicest
guy. Hello, Grim. Have you muted me?
I haven't muted you.
Right. Well, why do you keep talking when I'm asking you a question? Grim, we've got water levels here. We've just explained how water levels work. We've just explained how it. We've got one from here to here, and one from here to here. We've filled it up at this end.
I told you, right in the middle of the new drawings. I told you already.
Right in the middle, here, then here.
No, that's not the middle, the new drawing.
Yeah, it's there. The water level fills up in the fucking tube, you dickhead.
We know that. That's obvious.
Yeah, well, that's where it goes then. Well done, Grim. You're brilliant. You're really good at doing reality. Well done.
I know.
That's a horizontal, right? The water levels are all horizontal, all the way across. It's a straight line, isn't it, Grim?
Only in your drawing.
So you'd say this wouldn't happen in reality then, would it not?
No, I'm saying it's only in your drawing.
Yes.
We don't know if it's happening
in
reality.
What would happen in reality, in your mind?
Why ask me a question, Bev? Who's interrupting who, seriously?
Is that what you're saying? That's what would happen when you tell me to do it on the board when I ask you what would happen in reality. Is that what you think would happen in reality or not?
Only on that short distance, that's what I think would happen.
Great, it's horizontal.
On a longer distance.
Okay, what would happen? This is 2 miles. Is that a short distance?
Bev, that's not 2 miles. That's a fucking drawing.
2 miles there. Look,
Bev,
he's got it wrote.
It's only a drawing. You wrote the word 2 miles.
Scale.
On it, okay, it's not 2 miles.
Scale. Have you never seen a scale drawing before? When you write the distance there, that becomes the drawing.
Now I know you guys are really super. You love Bev and everything. Bev, do me a favor. Lift that center tube up.
This one?
No, the one that you actually have, not the drawing.
Right. See, this has got an open end on it. See, this has got an open end on it. See this? It's got an open end on it.
Why are you laughing?
Do you not know how water levels work?
Because you're not listening. See, he's talking about open-ended. You're talking about a closed.
That's called a distraction.
Pipe.
Do you think that's how?
It has
Do
to
you
be
think that's
open
how
to
you
equalize,
measure?
you fool.
Rakia, you fool.
It
Don't start
has
calling me
to be
names. I defend you all the
open.
time. And I defend you all the time. Don't do this shit to me here, dude.
It has
All
to
right?
be
I'm always...
open.
Can nobody
Listen,
hear
man,
that
I don't know
Emma is
why
trying
you
to
fucking
talk?
act like
Where
that.
Grim,
does
shut up.
Because you're
Emma
not
is trying to
listening.
talk.
It's all right.
I am
It
Where
has
listening.
to
I
be
heard
open.
him. I heard him, and I'm trying to show him that
Can you hear
doesn't...
Emma trying to speak? Can you hear Emma trying to talk?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you again?
You know, when you lift the tube up, how do you think you measure the actual level with the water level? What part do you think gives you the horizontal?
All right, both of the ends.
Okay,
Okay,
so
both of the ends that are lifted up vertically, of course. And so that's not really the question here. The
okay,
question
yeah,
is,
but
why isn't there a change? The question really here is, why isn't there a change in the
Grim,
Yes,
Grim,
I answered
please
your
don't
question, so don't
interrupt
argue.
her to tell her what her question should have been and then proceed to answer the question that you think she
my
should have
question.
asked. Please wait to hear what Emma has to say. Please.
I
It's
swear to
fine.
God, I
He's
answered
gone
her
off the
question.
stupid pulling it up to the thing, so that's fine.
I answered
You
your
can move on
question,
to the
right?
next point.
Wasn't your
Yeah, you
question
realised
what
how
would
dumb
happen?
you sounded. That's cool. Fair play.
I'll
Man,
answer
this is
his
a
question.
posturing. You're
I'll
posturing
answer
so
your
hard right
question.
now. There's no reason
If you
for this
can
shit,
shut
right?
up, I'll answer your question. See the black line there? Pretend that's your tube or Bev's
No.
real tube.
I don't have
If
to
you'll
pretend.
shut up, if you will lift that black line or the real tube above the horizontal, it won't affect the ends. The tube
I
doesn't
said.
matter if it's
Thanks,
curved,
Rakia.
going up and down. Yeah, what's your point?
Perfect. That is
That's
my
not
point.
how a water level works.
Right,
That
Grim,
is my
I
point.
asked you before,
You
is there
just made
any
my point,
maximum
Rakia.
height to
You have
the
no
amount
point.
it can be
It's an
lifted?
enclosed tube.
Wait a minute, Rakia. If you just made a point that I've just made, and you're telling me I have no point, then how
Grim,
did I
I've
not make
asked
that
you a
point
question.
too?
What are you
Can
talking
you answer
about?
my
It's
question,
not the
Grim?
way the
that you
tool
made?
works.
You're trying to understand.
Grim,
You can't tell the difference between
Grim.
if there's a hump. Please
Is
let me
there a
finish,
maximum
Bev.
distance you can lift that center tube
No, Bev.
without
No maximum
any
distance.
effect?
Yes, there
You
is.
can go,
You're
Yes,
wrong
there
you
is,
can go
again.
Grim.
100,000
You
million
are
miles as long as
Wrong
Bev doesn't
again.
take it
and
in.
I'm not.
33
Bev.
feet.
Yeah.
33 feet. You want to
Oh, I
learn
thought you
something?
meant. Yeah.
Don't give
sure.
him the
But
answers, Dave.
he's talking about vertical.
Please.
We're talking about. Yeah, but we're talking about an actual. The
We're talking
horizontal
about reality,
We're talking
Grim.
about
over 2 miles,
Grim.
30
physicalities.
fucking feet of elevation in a 2 mile fucking
Grim.
conversation. So stop
Grim.
it.
Grim. Please. You
Just calm
are
down,
struggling with one
everyone.
of the worst cases of cog dis of somebody that supposedly doesn't have a model.
Quit trying to be judgmental, man.
No,
because
this
you
is
just- you're not-
crazy.
you
Grim,
don't have
you
enough
can't
semantics.
even
You don't
tell us
understand
what their
judgmental.
model says.
Well, you don't understand.
Which
You're
what
not
means
here to
that
learn.
you've got a
And you
Why are
model.
you here, dude?
I'm not
Why
here
are
to
you
learn
here?
that.
You didn't
I'm
even
not
know
here
what
to
a
learn
water
that.
level was, and now you're trying to tell Bev what a water level, how it works. You didn't even know what one was.
I just saw
Hang
how
on,
it worked. It
You
didn't
just
take me very
admitted
fucking
you've
long.
never seen one.
I literally just fucking saw how it worked, and I literally just
So you got it
saw
all
him
figured
with the
out now?
center.
So
Oh,
now
did I
he's an
interrupt you
expert.
again, Rakia?
Got it all
Did I
figured out
interrupt
now,
you?
do you?
Did I
So
interrupt
you're
you?
saying if you lift the tube up above
Did I
the water
interrupt you?
level, that it should affect the ends?
We got
And
a
you
lot
think
of
you got it all
personalities in
figured
here.
out? I'm asking you
I
a
get it.
serious question. Do you think you
Yeah,
have it
the
figured
word's
out because
all
you think
figured
you can
out.
lift that tube? Yeah, I know you don't.
I have enough
You
figured
have
out to
no
realize
clue.
that there, in the model that he's trying to debunk, right? He's not going to be able to debunk it with
He's
this
not going to
experiment.
be able
And
to
I'm
What
trying to show
debunk
you
model?
the
For
the
fuck's
What
sake,
model is he trying to
fuck's sake,
debunk?
Grim. Can I start
the
this
Earth
again,
being
Grim?
round at
Grim,
all.
Grim.
Grim,
This is a
Grim,
geometric.
understand
Listen,
this.
I'm
Oh, for
almost done.
fuck's
You guys
sake.
are trampling all over me, and you're saying that I'm trampling all
Grim,
over you, and
Grim,
it's not fucking reasonable.
Grim.
Grim,
This,
Grim.
this,
I'm in the middle
Grim,
of a sentence, bro.
this,
Grim, you
Why
don't
not?
Grim,
talk, man.
shut the
Bev,
fuck
come
up.
on, man. See
Grim,
what I mean?
yeah?
If
No one
you
is
shut the
here to
fuck
hear
up.
you,
Sake.
Grim.
How about you
No
shut
one
the
is
fuck
here to
up?
hear you.
Fuck off.
Well,
You
that's
came
weird,
here
man.
to listen to Bev, and you haven't
He
shut
didn't.
up once.
He didn't
I'm
come
here to
here to
talk to
listen, and
Bev.
I've fucking had enough.
I actually heard you. I heard you, Bev. And I'm trying to tell you that the center doesn't matter. When you lift up the center, the ends are the same. That's what you're
Now
trying
he's
to
an
tell me.
expert
So,
because you showed him something. Now he's an expert on it.
Okay,
well,
we
no,
heard
that's
your
what he's.
objection, Grim. Just listen to what he has
It's
to
not
say, man.
about. It's not about.
With these,
It's not
with these
about the
three
middle of the
levels,
pipe.
just listen up, man. Just
It's not
wait 2
about.
minutes. That's all.
All right.
Sorry to see.
Can I
It's
say
not
one
about.
thing real quick? Leveling
You see
is
how when
not
somebody
a
who's
thing.
polite.
Grim. Leveling is not a thing, right? You don't. Leveling is an operation that you do to something, right? So something, when you level something, it is a process. It's not just 5 feet from the ground, 5 feet, because you can get an arch that wouldn't be level.
Right.
Like when you hold on, listen. When you level a floor, right? If you were going to level anything, it is a process that you do. That process is maintaining a distance from a ground, right? Not in a curve, because if you curve it, then the distance from ABC, from B to the ground and A to the ground are different, right? You have to keep that going straight.
It's not the ground.
That's what leveling
Please don't
is. You
do
can't
that.
level a tire,
Right hand.
right?
Please don't do that. It's not the ground.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
a
exactly
distance
what I was
from
trying
the
to say
Whatever it is,
before.
the object, whatever you're trying to level,
No,
a
the
shelf,
level.
the floor.
We're talking about the water level.
We're talking about the level.
Which makes the level. The
No.
level.
The level is the level. It doesn't make anything.
You see how I'm having a problem?
When
I'm just
you
trying to
say
work
you're
it out to
leveling
where they have a
something,
better
listen,
argument.
when
and
you
treat
say
me
you
badly.
level something, you're
This is
you're processing it to the horizontal level. You're making it parallel to the horizontal. That's what leveling is. You make something parallel to the horizontal. That's the process of leveling. It is not even elevation. It is making something parallel to the horizontal. That's leveling.
It is an even
That's
elevation.
what I'm trying to tell him. That's all I'm
But
trying to
you're
say
saying it
right
could
there.
be a hump
Come
in the
on,
middle.
who's trying to
You're
tell
saying that it can
who?
hump up in the
Who's
middle.
talking here? You're both trying to talk for me. And you're both trying to tell each other what I'm trying to say. Rather than just listen. This is a test to show a straight line. That's all we're talking about. People get triggered to fuck, thinking it's got something to do with a model or a curve or a fucking circle. It's just a test for a straight line. Why can't you agree to that? Because that's all I'm asking you, Grim. I thought you were intelligent. I was asking you what you thought of the test.
And then every time I try to answer you, you interrupt me and shut me down. So why ask me anything? That's just
I
crazy.
won't be asking you
I don't get
anything
it.
from now on, Grim. It's done. You proved yourself ignorant of it.
Grim, do you believe a
How
water
am I the
level
ignorant one
on either
here?
side, if you can it draws a straight line? Can you agree to that? Just
Yes,
one
I did
simple
already.
point.
Locally, yes. What he's doing on the
Okay,
board
that's
there,
all he's trying to tell you, bro.
and I told him I agree locally with that, but you can't, sublimate that onto something that's actually 2 miles.
Why can't you do that 5 miles?
Because now we're talking about having curvature in
Right.
the middle,
Well,
but you're
can
still
we
on the
stop?
same elevation on
Right.
either end.
Where did that come
It's
from?
still
Okay.
God damn it, he's interrupting me again in the same
Where did the
exact
curve
fucking
come
spot
from?
he always does. Never mind.
Where did the curve magically come from?
The sphere you're standing on, man. We're
Right.
in space, dude.
Have you seen
It's
the
Right, guys, can I just say one thing, right? Can I know that we all want to say something, it's, because we're all wanting to help him understand. But let's just let Bev do the talking for all of us, just let him just do his bit until he's got what he's got to say clear. To be talked about here. So
Yeah, there should be 2 people talking, Bev and Grim.
I dare everyone to go on mute.
That includes
if
Grim.
you don't go on mute, you're a shill. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, let's do it as simple as we can, right from the word go. How accurate can you be marking the level on the end of that tube? and the end of that tube there.
I
Grim?
don't understand the question.
Okay. If I was to give you a pencil like that, it's got a 0.5 mil lead on it. How could you mark there? How accurate do you think you could be at marking the level of the water at that end and that end?
Oh, I mean, how are we talking about like the refraction between the glass and the liquid, and is it really right there, or are we just talking about like how accurate?
Give you a pencil. How accurate
Meniscus.
could
I
you
have to
be?
eliminate the meniscus effect of the water.
Well, you could take the top of the meniscus on this one and the top of the meniscus on this one, couldn't you?
Right.
Okay, so
Okay,
how
so
accurate could you be
would
with
that be
this
the
pencil?
Well, if I was at the top of the meniscus,
yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't understand the question. It's very arbitrary. Like I could be as accurate as my eye would allow me to be if I weren't using any other tools.
With the pencil as well.
Depends on how good I can see with my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like.
Yep.
So yeah.
Go on, give us a accuracy.
And then it would depend on how straight I can draw a line. Then it would depend on how straight that line actually is when I magnify it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then to see that it's not straight at all. And then I'll realize that I'm not really very accurate.
Yeah.
When it comes to the word accuracy, it's just an estimation almost.
Yep.
Now, is that what you were getting at?
It was after a number that you could give me, how accurate you could be.
Like, I could be number 1.
Yeah.
You wanted a number. I don't know. That's how arbitrary the question was. It's how arbitrary the answer is.
Are you doing this because you're scared that you're not going to be intelligent enough to get something right, like a bit later on? Or
if I was scared, I wouldn't have even made a joke and threw out a joke number, right? Because like obviously you could use that to make fun of me with now, so it couldn't be that.
Right. Okay. So how accurate could you be? I've told you the lead on this pencil is
I just told you
0.5 mil.
my eyes would allow me to be or whatever. Like I don't know. Like what are all the parameters of this?
Like as accurate as a pencil lead.
Or as accurate as the
or would you not be that accurate?
Measurement is. Like,
could you say like you'd be within a foot? You could get it. Is that how accurate you said you'd be?
I really don't know. I hope so. I hope I can see it, even with my reading glasses on. If all I'm doing is trying to be accurate to marking a line to where the water level is, I can get pretty close.
Yeah. To the millimeter then.
Can
we say for ease of example, a millimeter? Even though this pencil's really fine, but we could say you could be a bit slow and miss it out and get within a millimeter, right?
Right.
Okay.
I don't know all the parameters.
So a millimeter
thing, 33 feet.
You've got a millimeter accurate, right? The water level will be level, but you say the best we can get you to put down is that you could make a mark a millimeter accurate, right? So plus or minus 1 millimeter, somewhere around there, but at least a millimeter accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but
Brilliant.
I'll help you with your argument. Yes.
So how much of the model do you know?
Which model are we talking about?
Have you heard of the Ruhif numbers?
Yeah. So what?
Okay. So have you heard of the drop model then? The Kozlowski nutsack drop, right? Okay.
Well, no, I don't watch these guys.
When you get the numbers, right? There's two different models. There's a hump and a drop, right? So for 400 meters, do you know the numbers? Drop?
No, dude.
Drop
I'm
numbers?
not even gonna attempt shit
drop,
right now.
The drop numbers. Drop for 400 meters. I think it was 12.6 millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you know the drop at 200 meters, halfway?
So are you going to add the drop to one side
I
or
said,
the
do you
other
know?
when they're both
Do
at the
you
same
know
elevation?
the drop? That's all I was
Or are you
asking.
going to subtract it from the
Do
center?
you know the drop numbers
No,
of the
why
model?
the numbers why do the numbers matter when you don't need
Because
numbers
this
for
is
all
what
of
you
that?
measure, right? What do you think you measure? You've got numbers on
The
a
level.
ruler, and that's how we measure things.
The level.
We're talking about millimeters.
You don't need
So
numbers.
the drop if that is 3.1 millimeters, right? Drop over 200 meters.
Yeah, that's
And the
drop,
drop-
though. That's not curvature.
And the drop, what?
Drop is from a horizontal line that starts. Look, well, if I start 6 foot off the line and I put my eye horizontal, just above the horizon,
Yeah,
right?
there's
then
a horizontal
the
line.
horizontal
There's
line
a
never
horizontal
actually
line.
touches the horizon. Right, the horizontal line would never touch the horizon that I'm using. Right, and that's what we call drop. It's not a bent line.
What you call drop.
The surface is bent.
We could,
right?
yeah, we call.
And they're
no, like you're getting all confused, Grim. You best slow down a bit.
No,
slow
you
down.
are.
No, I was
Never
just
mind.
asking you whether
God damn
you
it.
knew the numbers for their model.
First of all, you don't need to know the numbers to know that the formula is being misused. And that's all I'm trying to point out.
What formula?
So
I
if
don't
you're
know
using a
about.
drop
No, I
formula-
don't know about. There's no formula for a straight line.
There's a curvature formula and a drop formula. There's definitely is. Right?
Okay, all right.
You know that.
Okay, well
So you're
that's
using
where
drop
these numbers.
formula to
That's
explain curvature
Grim,
phenomenon,
please.
and it's incorrect.
Grim.
You're looking for way more drop than you're going to ever find because there's not that much drop.
You seem
in
like
the
you're
curvature
really
line.
defending some sort of. You're defending models here rapidly.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Here's what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to explain that there's already an explanation for that it isn't trumpable yet.
Yeah.
So what you're saying
Yeah,
right there,
obfuscation tactics are
you're
really
accidentally-
poor, Grim. Can we carry on with this?
I feel like you're projecting when you say shit
Right,
like
so
that. Right?
this
'Cause
is
you're
a
obfuscating
horizontal,
my point
right?
Right now.
Grim, this
Never
is a
mind, dude.
horizontal.
This is why I don't want to argue with Flat Earth.
You're
about
not
Flat
arguing.
Earth, man.
We're not arguing.
You're
You're
not
meant to
listening.
be just having a look over this test
That's
to
what I'm
see
trying
whether
do.
you
I'm
agree
trying
it's
to-
a straight line test or not. But you seem to get wrapped up on models and calculations and formulas and stuff. We're just going over what is and in reality, right? Yeah. Or the best we know about what happens in reality about water levels. So we've got a water level. At the minute, it's on the board, 400 metres. From here to here. Now, the numbers say there should be a drop at this end of 12.6 millimetres. But, I mean, that sounds a bit silly, like, because that is...
Because it's not what it says, actually. Dude.
It
It's
is what it
horizontal
says. You
drop
have a
would be,
look at the
not from
numbers. Have you seen the
Not
numbers?
from the fucking... Not the ground.
Have
though.
Grim.
Not from the,
Grim, please, stop.
It's
Have
from the horizontal line. It's above
have
the ground, dude.
Grim.
It goes out straight.
Grim. Have
That's my name.
you seen
Worn it
the
out.
numbers? I'm going to get the numbers. I'm going to stop this now, right, until you have actually seen these numbers. I'll put them in the
The
debate
numbers
discussion.
won't even matter.
Yeah,
when
they
you're
do. They
applying
definitely
them
matter.
to
That's the
wrong
thing that
line.
you've all been going for.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you apply the numbers to the
There you
wrong
go.
line,
There you go.
they don't matter.
In the debate discussion, can you see that? Let me just swap this over. Right, can you see that?
Yeah, I definitely see what you've drawn there.
I've not drawn it. That Ruhif, whatever. Who else was there? Brad, the science guy.
Okay, baller local.
Right. So,
curvature
have you heard of Ruhif?
calculations.
Have you heard of Ruhif?
Curvature calculations.
Grim.
Right.
Grim. Have you
I
heard
don't
of Ruhif? Do you know who he
Only
is?
because you guys, yes, man.
Okay.
Ruhith's fucking model, but I don't know
Do,
it. I
do
don't pay
you?
attention.
Do you? Have you
Yes.
ever heard of whatever?
Whatever.
Have you ever heard of him?
Do I need to have?
I'm just asking you because he seems to think
Right,
he's one
I'm
of the
far
big
too
guys
busy.
that pushes this model.
I don't know these people.
Okay,
man.
you don't know Ruhif either, then?
No, I do not know them. No,
No. Have you heard of Ruhif?
that is a different question. And yes,
Okay.
I have. Are you still there?
Have you ever heard of Slice Barcane?
Of course.
Right. These
a lot. And
these
Jim
are the
Panda's,
numbers.
server.
These are the numbers that Ruhif has given us for the first 500 anyway, for the drop of slice bar canes, each individual 100 meter water level. So what we're doing here, we're just taking the numbers that Ruhif has given us for slice bar canes bending water level experiment, and we're applying them. We're applying them, Grim, please. We're applying them to reality to do a test to show you and everybody else a straight line, how to geometrically prove a straight line in reality. Right line geometry.
Yeah,
so
a straight line.
Can
locally.
you see
I
the
already
numbers?
agreed with that. Like, we're not even having an argument.
So can you see the numbers there then?
Use this thing that we already agree on,
So,
and then stretch it to non-local.
Can you see the numbers?
And that's where I'm like.
Can you see the numbers there on that thing, Grim?
I'm not on a computer, dude. It's really, really hard for me to see.
Okay, right. Well,
very small
I'll tell you there are actually on the board the numbers I've give you. I got correct off the top of my head.
Those are from
all from Ruhif. These initial numbers are all from Ruhif.
And he's a baller, right? Or no?
Ruhif.
He's a baller.
I don't know. He says he's a millionaire. So I mean,
he's a baller.
A globe. He defends the globe model. He's one of the best geometers I've ever seen on the globe model side. That's why he's give us these numbers. So
yeah,
I'm going to go back to the thing. So you've definitely seen the numbers from Ruhif. Now we can proceed.
Everyone's subject to making mistakes or giving false numbers or whatever. I don't understand why this.
Are you questioning what? Oh, you're questioning the numbers.
I question what everyone says. I question what everybody's saying. Right?
I would. I question this as well because what happens here is, Grim. What happens is you need somebody stood here. We'll put DP here. He's always stood here, right? So you need somebody stood here in order to get the drop of 12.6 millimeters over here, 400 meters away, according to the calculations. Because if he comes over here, then the drop's over here, away from him, because that's the way these calculations work, right? So are you going to go with the idea that there could be a drop, total distance drop, on the model, right? Because that's why we call this one the Kozlowski nutsack drop, because it's the most ridiculous.
This would be the easiest way to
of it, right? So what we do is, because there's definitely no drop, what we have to do is we have to look for the midpoint hump, geometrically, of course. So what we do is we fill the water up. Everyone knows that the water level fills up to stay level. Right? You'd have to agree with that. You don't have to call it horizontal if you don't want to, but you would agree that it is level. The water stays level, doesn't it?
I would call it horizontal.
Okay.
Why not? That's
now,
local.
Since we've got rid of the drop, then we obviously can't measure a drop, but we could measure the midpoint, couldn't we? A hump. Because what we've done is we've got rid of the drop, total distance. So what we can do is the half distance, we can turn it into a hump, because it makes complete sense doing that, doesn't it?
Right, and then it still won't change the level, even if there's a hump in the middle.
There's a hump in the middle of the water.
As long as the middle, right, as long as it's...
Well, there's nothing there. There's no water. The tube's just going here. There's no hump. It's a straight line. The water level is level. There's no hump in the water level, is there? Or do you think the water level does that?
Oh my God.
Do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the water level does that? Or do you think the
I'm saying the water level,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't matter if it has a hump in the water level itself.
Yeah,
right?
the
Because
tube.
the two ends are on the same elevation.
Yeah.
So those two ends are going to be measured the same.
Like
There's
yeah,
no
like
difference.
this drop definitely isn't there. Now
It
all
won't
we need to
be a
do,
thought of a drop.
all we
There's no
need to do
physical
now, Grim,
drop.
is if we get rid of this.
It's a visual drop from
If
the
we
horizontal
get rid
line
of
that you
this,
created imaginarily.
then it's just a straight line, isn't it? We've already got rid of the drop. That's definitely not there.
Yeah, but what drop?
Right, so where's the hump? How do we devise a method to check whether it's higher at 3.1 mil there? How do we do that?
Yeah. Well, go ahead and see if you can see the other level into the level from where you're standing.
We're just using water levels here. We don't want to confuse the issue with people looking at shit.
Get a telescope. You can see more than 2 miles with a telescope, right? You get a telescope and you look for the other one, and if it's under an arch or under where it should be, you'll know that there's a hump in the middle.
Well, what I'd say is what we do is to check at the minute. What we do is you
just
just
like
get
you
a
would on
water
any other
level here.
object.
This is the first one I ever did. First method, anyway. See that? It's quite clever, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So when we fill the water up here, like this, then in the middle, where do you think the water level will be? Nervous. Louis did this as well. This is the bit where Louis started laughing. You know, in fact, Louis never really got to this bit. Now, do you think?
Drawn it again.
Do you think we can get rid of this 3.1 mil if we do that? Because do you think it could be higher? Could this water level be higher at this point? Because it's in the middle of another water level with an imagined hump in the middle.
See, of course not, because this imaginary hump in the middle is all the way even around the whole thing. There's no. It's just in the middle.
That's sweet.
See,
I
now,
like that.
right.
You're
doing
once you've done that,
the same. You're doing the same thing over again.
Yeah, and then we can go.
You really don't see. I think if you do it enough times, one day you'll see. You know how a painter needs another painter to come along and say, "Hey, you missed a spot," or whatever.
So that's another way of proving a straight line, isn't it? The water level is horizontal.
You're making the same mistake over and over again.
That's lovely. You've helped tremendously. Thanks for coming. So, would you agree that that's a good test for a straight line then? Although that's not the one we actually. The other one's a bit.
Why does this keep? I don't think you can hear me, Bev. Can you?
I don't know. I don't. Were you saying anything relevant?
Oh, just trying to agree with you so many different times, and then saying that. Well, I've already agreed with you about this being a local demonstration, right?
Yep.
Yes, that's how you can find a straight line, for sure.
Okay, so we can get rid of all of them numbers that Ruhif gave us.
The same thing, drawn in a different color, with the exact same fucking thing.
I like it.
Just in a different color.
When you say local, what do you mean local?
We'll tell Ruhif. Yeah, well, Ruhif gave us those numbers.
Between a room and another room, like 100 feet or somewhere smaller than 2 miles.
But no, this was meters.
Even see
hundreds meters.
Yeah, locally, like small enough to where I can't tell inches with my own.
But that's 3.1 mil over 200 meters. I mean, I've got 400 meters of water tube.
Right, and there's right. It doesn't matter how much tube you have. What really matters is your understanding of the model you're trying to debunk.
What model? I'm not trying to debunk a model. Well, I'm trying to show people how to have a straight line. And no, you keep trying to say,
model, right?
You keep trying to defend a model.
Support. No, I'm not trying to defend. Is not the word you should be using here. I would like to wreck it too, but this isn't how I could do it. This would humiliate me.
What, proving
I'm trying
that
to figure
level
this
is
out with you.
horizontal and a straight
No,
line?
you're not proving. Again,
Is it not?
they don't even disagree.
What's
they
up with
don't
it?
even disagree with that.
Where's the hump? There's no hump and there's no drop. It's just a
You're
straight line.
misusing the hump calculation, the drop calculation. In the first place, you're looking for something that's not supposed to be there.
It isn't there.
Where's the hump?
It's a straight
Where's
line.
the drop?
Is that
No,
not a
in the
proof for
model,
a straight line then?
In a spherical Earth model, they don't talk about a drop. That's from a horizontal line. Okay, that's a horizontal line drawn.
Yeah, it is.
That you measure
Horizontal's
a drop
a straight
from.
line. Perpendicular to
You're not
vertical.
understanding.
Oh, what do you mean I'm not understanding? I'm understanding. I'm with
You keep
you.
repeating, like,
That
normal
is a
stuff, like-
horizontal line. Yes. Horizontal lines, being straight lines, can be extended indefinitely. I mean, yes, that's a
Right,
very
now
good
that's a
fact of
different
geometry. I like that.
That's a different claim because there's literally no
What do you mean
way
it's a different
for you.
claim? It's not a different claim.
It's a-
Level is
No, it is.
horizontal.
You just took-
Horizontal is a straight line. There's no new claim
that can
there.
be taken on indefinitely, but you're pushing it to as if it's the Earth that you can do.
I'm
this
not. I'm
indefinitely.
just saying, in reality, level is horizontal, and horizontal, in reality, is a straight line. Or plane, even.
Can I say one thing real quick? The whole reason of the level is to establish a horizontal line, because if you didn't use the level and all you wanted was 5 feet from the ground, you could just take a stick and put it in the ground, and take a stick and put it in the ground. And that would take 5-foot sticks or 6-foot sticks, put them 1 foot in the ground. That will never give you a level. It will just give you topography. You could be up on a hill. The stick would still be 5 feet from the ground. And so you're just trying to establish. The whole point of the level is that all of the sticks are on a line. Because if you didn't want that line, you wouldn't use the level and you would just stick sticks in the ground and you wouldn't care if they were on a horizontal or not.
Right. That's why I thought his experiment would do well over water.
What's the
then you're not really worrying
experiment,
about
dude?
If it was an experiment to be done.
It's
right?
not an experiment, though, is it? Grim?
Not yet, but I'm trying to help you with that idea, right? Because obviously you want it to
How
be
do you
an
experiment on geometry?
Yeah, you experiment with geometry. Yes.
You can't experiment with geometry, dude.
Yeah, you can use geometry in an experiment, obviously.
Yeah, you can measure things, yes. That's all we're doing. We were just putting a pencil mark at the end of a water level. That's all we were doing. But you couldn't even let me do that, so we had to go to another method to show you
on that part.
just
Stop
with
lying,
water
Dad.
levels.
We agreed on that. You can't do that, dude. Don't act like we're so diametrically opposed. It's ridiculous. Because I'm not disagreeing with you on everything. You don't want to turn it into enemy situation shit, unless that's for the fun of the show or whatever the fuck. But I mean, I'm literally trying to go along with as much of this as I can, dude. You're not making it very easy for me to receive this shit. I'm telling you.
I know. It's difficult. Yeah. It is. It is. Because you should have been told this, right?
And all of that shit.
That's the
Look,
problem.
Man, I'm not. When I'm asking you to do me a favor so I can rule out certain variables, and then you basically decline in every single way possible.
Yeah, I think
I'm suspicious.
I think you're
Why can't
using
you just lift
these.
the center up for the sake of the fucking point,
I
and
think
so I
you're
can show
using
you that it
these
doesn't matter
obfuscation
what's
tactics and
See what I mean?
rumpusing tactics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than
clearly, this is a projection.
Just try and
This is
explain
what
to
I'm
me more
clearly
clearly
saying
then,
that you're
rather than
over-talking me.
just.
Now you're using rhetoric and ad hom. You're trying to tell me I'm acting some certain way, which I'm clearly being very reasonable and honest with you. That makes me suspicious. I'm a paranoid person too. I'm a real truther, dude. So when you act like that, I suspect you. Now, all I'm asking you to do is lift up the center of that hose so that I can see the two levels being the same on either end. And that would be an actual demonstration of what the globe model says would happen as well.
No, it wasn't.
So that you can see that your experiment, yes, it is absolutely.
In reality,
and you can see that your experiment,
it's a siphon, isn't it?
Experiment, or whatever
It
the fuck
turns
you're calling
into a
this,
siphon.
has
Not
no
many
merit
people. It's all right,
in this
Grim. Not
argument.
many people know.
You got to
this.
try something else.
It's difficult and it's hard work to get this out because you didn't realise it. Not many people do. When you lift that up,
it's like
you
just
turn the
reasoning.
water level into a siphon from one end to the other. You can use it as a siphon, but there is a limit to how far it can go.
Yeah, the globe model doesn't claim that on sea level, one side is elevated more than the other. So I don't know where you're going with this argument, but it should end right there.
Well, can you please explain how you conflate elevation with curvature then? How
That's
do you
actually
how
you.
do you
You're
measure
actually doing that.
how do you measure curvature?
You're doing that.
How
I'm
do
not
you
conflating it. You are. That's what
how
I'm pointing out, Bev.
how
You're conflating elevation with curvature.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, so can I ask you then? Can I ask you? Elevation is
Well, how
a
are you doing
measured change in the vertical. Would you agree with that? A change in elevation is a change in the vertical distance, height.
From sea level.
From anywhere.
You gotta really be more.
From
no, it's not.
From anywhere. Yes, elevation is the
no,
land
it is
on the
absolutely
floor, and a
Sorry,
change
dude, not.
in elevation is a change in the vertical.
Sorry,
So,
dude.
Grim,
That's not how it works on topography.
when you're standing at the base of a tree and you start to climb the tree, what happens?
The tree can be below sea level, though, dude.
Oh.
But just what happens, just on a basic level, like
You don't
we're kids,
understand.
and I give you a boost. When I give you a boost, what am I doing?
Yeah, you could raise your elevation, but that doesn't mean you're going above sea level.
I just wanted to just get it simple again, but I'll
Please.
shut
Did you
up.
understand?
Yeah.
That was simple, Merle.
Grim,
I appreciate
please
that. I like you,
don't,
Merle.
please
That
don't
was
get
simple.
confused with sea
But
level.
my point is,
Sea level is just a
I can't
datum.
not-
It's
no,
a
you have
zero.
to if you're talking about the globe model, you must.
I'm not talking about the globe model.
Well,
I'm
then you're
talking
not
about.
debunking anything.
I'm talking about reality. That's
Again,
all I'm talking about, Grim.
again, the globe model is a model in reality. It's not a model of
Okay.
reality per se. No proof there for me.
Brilliant.
One way or the other.
Can
I'm
you?
not saying I'm
You can
sorry, I'm saying
answer
it
with
is-
either way, right?
I can.
I'm gonna tell. Grim.
I can speak to you about it. I can draw it to you. I can.
So,
present
have
it.
you got
I can
somebody
show you how-
stalling? Are you stalling because somebody's feeding you information, Grim?
I'm sorry. What?
Can I get it right
Did you
now?
just,
I
again,
asked you.
Did you just,
Yeah, I
did you
said,
just
are you
project
stalling because somebody's feeding you information? Because
Right.
you've got a
Somebody like
spiel of
who?
shite coming out of your
Let's be
mouth,
clear about this.
and you're
Let's
not
be clear about this. Who do you
answering
suspect
the
is feeding
question,
me
or
information?
even letting me talk to let anybody else know what it is we're talking about.
Well, no, you keep throwing these little seeds of shillery around,
Right,
like
okay.
I'm part of this government.
Elevation,
shit, right?
yes.
Why don't you be clear about what
You're going to
what
try
you're
and do it
accusing me
again.
of?
Keep going, right? It scares you. It's a scary thought. Elevation, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
People
super
get really
on the same
frightened
heights.
about it. Yes.
Right,
Because
right.
it is.
So why are you accusing
Grim,
me once again of being some government shill?
because you once again running from answering a
You don't know-
very,
you've never been on my
very
channel, huh?
seriously
Merle, tell
easy
him, dude.
question.
I fight
Grim.
big government all day. I fight big oil.
Okay.
I fight big pharma.
Why
I
are
fight big
you
religion.
why are you
Who the fuck
running
is left
from
for me to be
answering
shilling
a
for,
very
dude?
simple
Who's
question
left?
about elevation
Wait a
then?
minute.
Why is
Real
it a
quick,
problem?
Who's left for me to shill from? Right? Who do I shill for? When I fought them all for decades, who am I?
Grim,
shilling
I don't
for? You
know
think so
who. I don't
fucking
know
rude?
what you've done or anything like that. I'm just asking you about
then
this test,
maybe before you
and we're
start
trying to
talking
find
me
out
like that
something very simple. It's all right.
and trying to insinuate that I'm some part of some government fucking bullshit. Right?
No, I think
Or that I
you're
got
the one that's
handlers or
doing
any of
that.
the
I just
shit that
said
you're
you
talking about.
seem to be
Right, before-
running from
yeah,
a
well,
very
you seem to be
simple
too.
question
I don't
about
say it every time I
elevation.
think
I
it,
don't
but
know
boy,
why.
you seem it, right? I'm not trying to be that rude. I can see that maybe you're not, whatever, but you're not gonna sit there and try to call me a fucking who's feeding me information and what the fuck. That's nonsense, dude.
Okay, so can I ask the question now then? When we, in reality, measure a change in elevation, it's not really a question. We measure a change in the vertical, right? And even when we measure a change in altitude, we measure a change in the vertical. Would you agree?
Relative to your original position, of course.
Just the change in the vertical, yeah, the vertical.
Relative to your original position, yeah, let's be clear.
Okay.
Of course.
Now, would you say that measurement being a vertical change, that's either a change in horizontal or the change in the elevation or altitude, right? Vertically.
I'm sorry. Are we still like?
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to confirm that yes. So when we say something is, say, 51 feet above sea level, then it is above sea level, right? Because the sea level is a 0, a mean sea level. What they do is they average the tide at a certain point somewhere, and then call that sea level. Call that a 0. Then every change in elevation is measured from that point, right?
Or that average, correct.
That mean. So when something is 51 feet above that sea level, and it stays 51 feet above that sea level, there is no change in vertical height at all, is there? If there's no change in elevation, there's no change in the vertical.
Wait a minute. Not from either side, no. But from the center, there could be all kinds of change that you're not accounting for.
All the way along it. If it's 51 feet all the way along it, there's no change in the vertical, is there?
I'm still looking at the whiteboard, right?
If anybody want to come into the show, it's Flatter Week. Just inviting you. So I got like a bunch of Glovers there talking among each other. I would like if anybody can just giving a little challenge, that'd be cool. But I got to go back to the stream. I'm not streaming this. This is in for my separate account.
Okay. What do you reckon they'd have an elevation conversation with the Jose?
Oh, I don't know, man. Anything.
You might want to refine this one before you bring it in. You might want to refine it a little bit.
I think
because there's too many.
Yeah, I got to go back there.
All right. Okay. Cool. Okay, Grim. So there's no change in vertical if there's no change in elevation, right?
From either side.
No, all the way along.
Because on you can't do that. Because
what do you mean you can't do it? If it's the same elevation all the way along, there's no change in the vertical, is there?
Now, and I'm sure of it. But you clearly can. You can. There can.
But you can have a change in vertical whilst having a 0 elevation change.
You can change the center. That's right. Because now you're talking about the pressure from the gravitational pull of the liquid. You're not just talking about its position. You know what you're talking about because the liquid moves, right?
Did you just put a hump in some water then? Did you
sure
magic word pressure and hump to water in the middle?
Grab the center of your tube right now and lift it up for the camera so that we can watch those two levels remain level.
Please. Yeah, that's a siphon. Everybody knows that. I mean, I don't know what you think that proves. That's not. No, it's not. Because there's a maximum effective working range of that for a reason. A very, very specific reason that you should really know about, but you don't seem to.
I absolutely know. If you had a bigger pipe, you could bring it. It could go even higher. A smaller pipe could go lower.
Higher than what?
Demonstrated 33 feet with the amount of looks like the gauge of the pipe.
To get a bigger pipe, you could go higher. You reckon?
No, not as high. Because it would be more weight to displace, more water to move.
Okay, so less then. If you get a thinner tube, you could go higher then, do you reckon?
Lower
again. There is a maximum height
because
then.
There is a middle ground, right?
Yeah, there's a maximum distance that you could possibly have
between the gauge of the tube and because of the weight of the water and the density of the water. That's correct.
It's because water can't support itself laterally. We all know this, Grim. Yeah, we all know this.
Yeah, but if you took some of the pressure out of the atmosphere, then we have a much different situation.
Some pressure out of the atmosphere. I don't, Grim. You're really getting way off here. We're talking about elevation, which is geometric. Grim.
when you go to fight these damn ballers,
Grim.
because they're going to try and eat you up.
Grim.
I'm just trying to help you out. And this is why I'm doing
Grim.
it not on air, so it's not embarrassing or any
Grim.
kind of bullshit.
Grim.
I'm just trying to show you, man. Listen to me.
Yeah.
You want to refine your argument.
This isn't an argument.
You can't
I'm
just
just trying
ignore
to
this
get you
part.
to
No, they're going to
clarify. I don't know what you're doing, actually, Grim.
Understand this simple part to them, simple to them, right? And if you don't get it, they're going to think they're winning, and the whole thing is going to act like they won, and you're going to, be pissed or whatever. But I'd rather you not have to go through all that. Just fix this argument real quick.
Sophistry's pretty embarrassing, right, Grim? You've
is.
been
I'm
away
trying to
for
tell
a
you
while, right? And you don't honestly think that this is what was missing, do you? While you were away, because we've definitely progressed way past this bullshit that you're trying to do now, Grim. You're done. People like you are gone. You're not needed.
Really?
Yeah,
Plasma
absolutely.
cosmologists and shit?
You
the
just
ones that paved the way for you to talk about fucking alternative cosmologies, they're done now? You're done with them?
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Grim.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know why you're trying to inject yourself into this geometric
know.
conversation.
I don't know why.
And especially with the pressure shit, you shouldn't.
You're posturing again, dude.
Try and do that.
You're posturing again.
I'm not trying to posture anything.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, coming at you with a little bit of realism. Your time's done.
And then you call what you're saying realism, and then you're saying stuff like your time's done.
Yeah,
that's like fanatic.
Well, you've taught us nothing, Grim, other than that you don't know anything about this particular argument.
Well, I clearly do, because I just showed you that if you would lift that pipe up in the middle, you would realize
didn't even know what a water level was until you just saw that happen.
To understand this simple fucking thing.
You don't understand what's happening.
That's probably what's pissing you off the most, Bev, because I didn't even know anything about it until I just fucking saw something that I needed you to show me, and you won't even show me now. Because you know that it's the valid point, the whole entire.
Is anyone else bored of Grim?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course you are.
Absolutely bored with him. I kicked
yeah,
him.
me.
Supposed to kicking him about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
He just won't shut the fuck up.
No, vote from the room is just be quiet.
Oh, okay. The fucking Nazis. You're gonna just vote somebody to shut up.
No, I'm not muting you.
It's impossible for him to go on mute. I promise you. He will not go on mute. He will leave before he goes on mute and listens.
Yeah, hey Mo.
I was just gonna say he thinks Bev is trying to evade his linchpin, that the ballers are gonna use that as an excuse. And they're going to debunk. They're going to
That's
debunk.
What I'm saying.
His...
That's it. That's it.
I know,
I don't care if I'm
listen,
wrong right now.
Is that how your mute doesn't work?
Even
I was
if
muted though, actually, the whole time you were saying that about me, I was muted. So
can you let Merle finish, please?
We're talking about stay on mute.
See,
yeah,
I don't know Bev that well, Grim, but I know that he could quite easily, do what you're asking, because he's a generous man and he's giving you time and energy already, as is everyone here. Just know that just don't draw all the oxygen out of the room, because like, believe it or not, a lot of the people here are actually trying to assist you and help you progress with your understanding of how reality works. It might be a simple way to do it, but it's powerful at the same time.
I appreciate that, and of course brought to me in that manner where it's it's a lot easier for me to say thank you in that aspect, for that. But to avoid my concerns about the argument, it doesn't, like, I think people are getting the wrong impression. I'm not here to debunk you, but I'm trying to do though is I'm honest with myself as well. I'm not just gonna say, "Oh yeah, I believe you," because I don't. And you're not helping me very much by being rude to me and pushing me around and acting like I'm fucking with you and calling me a shill. That's not helping me believe you. Okay. And
should we go back to talking about how you arrived here
in
the room today?
You again. Yeah, how did I
My
arrive
server,
here?
dude.
I just clicked onto the server. I was invited to the server to
No, how you
talk with
turned up
people
in the
here.
room this morning, having a go at people.
Yeah, and how you think
And then
I said
rage
you were a
quit.
shill.
No,
For
it
no
wasn't a go
reason.
at people.
You think we don't know you?
It wasn't a rage
And how
quit
you
or a
treated
go.
Bev earlier, and how you treated Emma? How you're treating her right now?
I came in the room, Emma, remember? And I sat there for about 3 or 4 minutes. And while I was in there, all I could hear was Bev saying, and people who come in the room and don't say anything or talk about this are shills, right? And then I spoke up. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, are you talking about me? Because I've been in here
Dude,
just for
I
a few minutes
did
quietly.
not say that.
Right?
No, and you're also
Yeah,
boring me
you
now.
did.
Do you know whose server
You
this
did,
is?
actually. Yeah, it's yours, Em. Right?
It's also not an open server. This
I was just
isn't
told that
a
by
debate
Rocky.
server. This isn't a
Right.
debate
And I wasn't in here
server.
to debate. I didn't even come in here to
Why
debate.
are you over talking her, sir?
I'm not on about
trying to
now,
talk
but
with
when
her.
you arrived in the room earlier, you know exactly what happened, and from that point, you haven't wanted to listen. You've tried to be condescending, but it doesn't really work for you.
Do you just ignore the part where I came back in and
Did you
apologized
just
from the
start
bottom of my
talking
heart?
while she was in the middle of her statement?
It's absolutely fine. It doesn't
Are you
matter.
so high right
Rocky,
now?
can you stop white
Can't
knighting?
control.
Yeah,
It's
I'm a little
white
high.
knighting for the owner of the server who you are disrespecting.
Yeah, but doesn't make it any better. And I'm not
Shut
disrespecting her, dude.
up.
Not
Can I say
disrespecting
something
her,
about the
Rocky.
experiment? The test. I want to speak about the test because
Wait a
Please,
minute. Hold
please
on a
do.
second.
Please
Okay,
do.
okay.
No, right
I'm
hand.
trying.
Carry on.
Emma, I almost thought, Emma, that you were
Come on,
done
Grim.
talking.
I'm
I'm
giving you
Shut
something here.
up.
Hey, Rocky,
So
go fuck off, dude.
Grim,
Stop.
come on, man. Grim, I'll help you out. So Grim's saying what the ballers will say is the black line, or to take the red line, or whatever, any of the lines. If you hump the middle up, right, you're going to get the same result on the ends. But yes, I agree, right?
That's all
Now,
they're gonna say. Yeah.
okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, how we fix that is what Bev did is you add another water level section into that middle. And if it starts spewing out the top, right, then you know it's higher. If you
No, it
add
doesn't fix it.
hold on.
The middle
Bro, I
becomes
didn't get to
between
finish.
the
No,
You
he
two.
didn't let
won't
me finish.
fucking listen.
Bro, but
He
come
will
on,
not
Grim.
listen.
He can't
Come on,
shut
Grim.
up.
Oh, fuck.
So look at the red line. You have the red line. Now, if the red line was humped up, right? So in the middle of the red line was past the water level of the sides. When you tapped into it and put a third one in, it would start spewing water because
No,
it would
it
be
wouldn't.
high. Yes, because it would be higher than.
No, it wouldn't. It's still sea level.
Okay, you're not understanding
No,
how
it's not. It's still sea level, dude.
Okay,
It's not.
here.
They're
Can
still on
water
the
support
surface.
itself? Okay, can
Yeah,
water
you gotta
support?
imagine from the argument of the Glober,
This is a
bro.
cog dis issue.
How many
this.
hours does this take?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what. I think he's
I don't
had
know.
his
He
chance.
needs to go away and have a think about it because this is we're
Right,
punishing
right.
him
He
with
just
cog
needs to
dis.
go away.
You're not
If there
punishing
was a
me,
topographical, if there was topography that
now
was
you've just
changing-
shortened your
You
experiment.
can't even shut up for 10 seconds, dude.
Rocky, stop interrupting. Really, I'm just
10
trying to sort
seconds
this
is
out.
your max. No
It's
one
been
wants to
10
hear your
seconds.
voice anymore. Do you hear the room? Just give
Yeah,
it
it just
like a
sounds like-
minute, bro. Just mute. 5 minutes. Just give us a break.
Can I respond to you?
Shut
Is that worth it?
up.
Do you mind, Rocky? Seriously, are you the leader of the pack here? Can I talk to Rocky?
No, I'm voicing the room. The server owner told you to shut up, and you interrupted her every time she spoke. Shut up.
Look, you can scream and
Shut
yell all
up.
you want, bro.
Shut
I don't want
up.
to hear that shit.
Just
right?
shut up.
Why are you fucking acting
Just
like
shut
an imbecile?
up. Just shut up.
Dude,
Can
shut
you
up,
do
man.
that?
It's
Can you
enough.
shut up?
No, I'm not gonna just
Can you
shut
shut
up and
up?
be bossed
Can
around
you
by
go
you,
on
dude.
mute? Can you go
No,
on mute?
fuck you, man.
Can
Go
you
fuck
do
yourself.
that? Can you
Dude,
just
take another
shut
shot, man, you
up
drunken
for
asshole.
1
Seriously.
minute?
You're
Can you
belligerent as
shut
fuck,
up
dude.
for 1 minute? You can't do it, can you?
reason for you to be yelling.
Can you do that? Can you shut up for 1 minute?
Obviously not. So shut
Can
the
you
fuck
just
up,
do that
asshole.
for 1 minute? Just shut up.
Obviously not.
Just
Not
go
you gonna
on
sit there
mute
and
for
act like
1
that.
minute. Just
Man, suck an egg, dude.
start a clock
Rocky
for
it.
1
Rocky
minute.
it. Why don't you start a
Press
clock, dude?
mute. Watch
Start
the
clock.
time
Don't
tick off
Rocky
for
it.
59 seconds after you
How
press
drunk
mute.
are you, dude?
I don't drink. How high
drunk
are
right
you where
now.
you can't
You're a drunken
shut
liar, dude. Shut
up for
All I'm saying,
1 minute?
Dixit,
Shut
is now you've just
up.
shortened
No
the
one wants to
experiment.
hear you anymore. Shut up.
You just
1
shortened the
minute.
experiment is all that
Go
happened. And the
on
center is
mute
now still the center.
for 1 minute. No one wants to hear you for 1 minute. That's all we're asking. 1
I already
minute.
said what I needed to say. I already said it. You
59
already heard me.
seconds.
You didn't
1
bark.
minute. You
Yay!
still can't
Okay,
shut up.
awesome. Brilliant.
Why
Thank
is he
you.
crazy like this?
I
Man.
think I made my point.
Right.
Yeah.
Bev,
Cool.
have you anything else to
So
say?
all I was saying, Bev, is
He
you
still
shortened the
can't
experiment.
shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
I can't hear
Like
him
I said
anymore.
earlier.
He can scream all
Like
he
I
wants.
said
He gets a
earlier,
from you guys.
Grim.
Okay.
He's still talking.
You're done, Grim. This is how
That's
we
talking.
know.
He's
right?
still talking.
This type of conversation doesn't get us anywhere. We all know it now. Right? That's all you guys have got. And when I say you guys, I mean you guys. As in you guys that have nothing to add other than disruption. You're done. We're done with it. We don't need it anymore. If you want to come and have a proper discussion, like we do have round here, then you're welcome to it. But this bullshit's got to end. Got to. And you can leave whenever you want. Oh, is he muted? Who muted him? That's tough. Yeah, I'm done. I don't need to know anything else about Grim. Anybody else want to have any say to Grim?
Just to the whole thing is that the whole idea is that if you have a topographical change, like a hill or something in the middle of your water level, you're like, oh, we made it so far, right, that we know these 2 points, but we can't cite the middle. That's where you start just tapping into the water level, and then you start leapfrogging. That's the whole process. And he's just saying, well, there will be a hump in the middle, and there's nothing you could in their model. There'll be a hump, and there's no way you can tell the difference. And I'm like, yeah, there is. There is a way you can tell the difference. So just to say, well, the middle humps up, the sides would still be even. Okay, but there is a way we can take that even from the sides and then start pinching into the middle.
Yeah, it's pretty easy when you've done it yourself, especially it gets even easier. But just to see it with logic, and I hope everybody saw what I did there. I acted like him basically until he called me crazy. Like I went uncontrollably talking when someone else was talking on purpose until he called me crazy to prove that that's what he was doing. It's unbelievable. He's either so high he can't see that, or he's doing it on purpose. Either way, it's a waste, right? Nothing was getting accomplished. Yeah. He's just either here wasting time, or he's just so inebriated. He even called me drunk, right? That's just pure projection. That's his cognition and projection coming out. Was very easy to expose.
Yeah, we know what the issue is, the possibilities of topographical change in the middle. So how do we correct that? It shouldn't take you don't need to keep going back. Well, the levels, we just shorten the levels and then move them out. Use multiple levels. There, problem solved. Now we know that is topographically the same horizontal line from one end of the longer level to the other.
Well, the whole point of having the pipe is so that the water is protected and closed, and only the open ends, create the horizontal. That's the whole point. You can add more open ends in the middle or wherever you want, but the pipe itself doesn't matter.
In their brain, and Grim's gonna back me up on this. Watch, you're gonna see. In their brain, right away to them, the water, gravity conforms it everywhere on that geoid, so it's level everywhere. Am I correct, Grim? Is that how you see it? Still here, bro?
Yeah, I think he might be on the naughty list. Yeah, but the crux of his argument is that in between the water levels, you couldn't tell if it was humped up or not, and that's just that was all he had really. And then you're like, once you show him that there's a way to take the level and just extend it from, if you had a real long water level and then you just had a bunch of littler ones next to it, you would know that there isn't any type of deviations.
Yeah, he thinks just the water level alone it makes it so it proves the Earth somehow. It's not about that. That's just a straight line, and then from there you extrapolate. He thinks that just that, and he thinks that they can disprove it just by lifting it up in the air. That's how he thinks. That's how they think.
I agreed
because
with
to
you.
them,
I just
water
couldn't
is
say
conforms to a
anything.
geoid.
Montreal. I agree. That's what they will try to do, and they'll also try to do. Right? Is they'll say that all you did was shorten your experiment when you cut it in half because both ends are on sea level, so there should be no spilling, and even in their model because the gravity is tangential to the surface and it pulls directly down perpendicular from the spot.
What do you mean it's tangential to the surface? That you don't even know what you're using, the wrong words.
There won't be any of that spilling over that you're trying to expect. There's no elevation change.
Well, because we're connecting horizontals. We're connecting local horizontal. That's the whole point. So if you're going to say, if they say the water level will establish a local horizontal, like great. Now we just connect local horizontals. And you're not going to connect local horizontals and make a ball. That's just ridiculous.
He just said gravity is tangential to the surface.
Yeah, you're pulling down on
it's not.
It's vertical.
It's
you don't even know you don't even know the model you're trying to defend.
Yeah. So, sorry, I do know the model. I just misspoke, obviously.
Okay.
Why did you threw a tangent in just for thought? Because it sounds good, doesn't it?
Well, no, because the tangent, the gravity along the surface is to the tangent perpendicular across the surface. So
yeah, two straight lines.
That's how they think it.
Two straight lines, right?
They're not in their model.
Vertical and horizontal. No, I didn't think I had to go through the very first bit of the 7 with you, Grim. I thought I gave you more credit. I should have gone through them, obviously.
No, it's not to the horizontal. It's to the gravitational. It's that's
vertical.
The whole thing.
Yeah, a plumb bob is a tool for establishing a vertical frame of reference. It is perpendicular to horizontal. Yes.
Locally.
Okay, watch this. Watch this, guys. Grim, if we take
remember. Go ahead.
Let me ask this question, so these guys could understand how you think. If we take the Earth as sphere, right, and we place plumb bombs all around, right?
They're pointing
you
at each other,
imagine all of them pointing to the center, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
You understand, guys?
I know. This is an extension of a radius. I know. Yeah. I understand what people like Grim imagine a model has. Yes, but geometrically, it's tosh. It doesn't work, and we can show that with practical right line geometry. In reality, that's what this test shows. Grim can't get that model out of his head.
Grim,
right, that's almost.
Sorry,
is what
Bev.
I'm saying.
This is the part you got to get out of your head, Grim. This is the part you got to work out within yourself.
Right. So I'm using like when I argue against the black hole and the Big Bang stuff, and they're using math to dictate reality. It's the same thing here with the. Well, it is. We can't use geometry to dictate reality.
A water level isn't the same
bro.
as a black hole. They're not the same. That's a pretty bad false equivalence.
But an inference, no, it's not. Well, yeah, that would be if that's what I was trying to do.
Okay.
Right, but it isn't. The equivalence would be using math to dictate reality. That's the equivalence I'm talking about.
Oh, do you know much about the foundations of mathematics?
The foundations?
Yeah.
Who the first people who decided to count coconuts?
Absolutely. Yes. Oh, it's not counting, right? You do realize it's not numbers.
Right, you have to
foundations of
imagine
mathematics.
what the symbol is for the amount that you are going to want, and what the next symbol is for the next amount, whole amount.
Yeah, it's not
right?
about
Going,
it's not
right.
about shapes that dictate numbers at all.
It's
either.
language. It's just language. Yeah.
It's geometry is the foundation of mathematics. It's built upon
right.
an axiomated,
Particular
logical
language, isn't it?
system.
Right, but again, with that same
geometry,
argument, you would have to agree that black holes are real.
No,
because they used math.
No, they use Euclidean
That's where I'm
geometry,
going wrong with it.
Euclidean 3-space, we call it. XYZ, you might have heard of it. Vertical, horizontal reference frames. That's Euclidean geometry, the foundations of mathematics. Have you heard of Pythagoras' theorem?
Yeah.
And triangles having 180 degrees.
Yeah, 108. Right, and the symbol, the significance of 108 degrees, and the lost Pythagorean secret of commensurability. Never heard of it.
Okay, right. So
and
you know that's based on.
It lines up to the water molecule.
Based on Euclidean geometry,
water.
then, and the foundation of mathematics is based upon that. So you can't really go around that and equate that to a black hole, can you?
Well, that's not the point. Yeah, well, that's what they do, though.
Who does?
They use
when you say they, who's they?
The standard narrative Jesuit fucking controlled learning institutions.
They, and what is it that they say again?
You weren't really that prepared to hear my prepared answer, were you? I could tell.
Was that a prepared answer?
He was like, this motherfucker knows it's the Jesuits.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. It's we were just talking about mathematics.
That should be a red flag for any truthers in the room.
It's just mathematics. The foundations of mathematics is geometry. You can't sort of bypass that, can you? And come up with an argument about black holes.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I don't believe in black holes.
Brilliant. So we're done then. We've finished that argument.
I didn't know where you were going. That's why I kept on wondering where you were you trying to say I'm a proponent of black hole bullshit?
You're not a proponent of geometry either, are you? Or logic.
You know, I could have said the same, but just chose not to because I was trying not to be rude. But I guess you chose the other road. Go ahead.
Just actually, you know, like some of the people that have looked through, I think it's like the surprise that it's so simple. You know, everyone's looking for, you know, it is literally really simple. Maybe it's too simple.
I agree. It is too simple, right? Because it's in their model, they expect the same thing to happen that you're saying should happen in your model.
No, this is reality. This isn't a model.
Then they think will happen in their own model.
You're talking they and their model,
did I interrupt
and
you
and your model. This isn't a model. This is reality. We're not making models here.
Again,
we're proving a straight line in reality.
I'm not going to claim that. Okay, I'm not going to claim that when we're having an argument that my side is reality and your side isn't. I'm not going to claim that. That you're going to take the other road a lot, I guess.
No, I'm just. I'm.
That road.
Grim, how much? Can I just check then? How much experience have you had with leveling of any type?
I don't know. I'm 46 years old, and I've been doing neon and working with manifolds and gas pressures and mercury and stuff, and leveling a lot of stuff for a pretty long time.
Okay, what sort of distance?
Since I was 17.
What sort of distance?
Not over great distances.
Which levels have you been using?
Like I would use. Well, I'm not using theodolites. I'm not a fucking surveyor.
What about an auto level?
Signs and shit.
Have you ever used an auto level?
Lighting on 50-foot, 70-foot strip, strips.
Have you ever?
Stuff like that.
Have you ever used an auto level?
Have to. Yeah, you have to, so you can know where to set your screws and have everything on the flashing in the right place.
Set your screws?
Yeah, because you've got to install, when you install the glass tubulation on neon, for neon tubes across buildings and stuff, you have to put it on there properly. You can't just put it all willy-nilly in the old direction.
With an auto
you
level.
You have to have it, well, a laser level. I mean, it's an auto level. You click it, you hook it to the wall.
It's a laser
and
level.
It shines up. Yeah, it's a laser auto level, whatever you want to call it.
A spinning one.
Shines a laser light across.
A spinning one. Or
no, it's not spinning. It's not rotating. It can be rotated.
Okay, it's just one of those little ones like I've got.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Okay, actually, so that's it. Like
we call those mount too, where you can put a couple of screws.
Yeah, we call those toy ones, right? They're not. They're not for like professional use. Although you could do. Is it painter and decorator?
Has screw bolt mounts. Ours has bolt mounts where we can screw them or bolt them to a wall, so that we can do much larger things. And you don't want to look into that one. Okay. I guess it's not the regular one because you can buy it at Home Depot.
So you've never used an auto level, like, for measuring elevations or?
No, hell no.
No, and you've never used a water level? No. Okay. So when I say we are talking about reality, I say that because we are. We actually do this stuff in reality, and we have actually used these tools. He's got a phone call, did he say?
I'm going to decline it for now. I'll pick it up later. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
We have actually used these tools. Yeah, all of us, well, most of us have anyway. We're practical people. So for you to say that we are wrong, it seems a little bit demeaning because you haven't used these things. And you say that because some other people have a model, which you say you don't have, but some other people have a model, that gives you enough rights to say it's wrong.
A siphon water level before?
Pardon?
You're trying to tell me everybody's just practically using siphon water levels?
That's the only siphon water level? What's a siphon water level?
The tubular water level that you have there. Little tubes of water there. Like, you're trying to say everyone in the flat earth just practically uses those all the time and just knows all about it? This doesn't make any sense, dude.
No, I didn't say that. I was just asking you.
Nobody's seen them.
Well,
right. So all of a sudden, but I've used every other kind of level you're talking about.
Do you not think it's a bit strange that nobody's ever used a water level?
Well, I think it's a bit strange
why that
you expect the water level. No, I think it's a bit strange that you expect the water level to be doing something differently. Like you expect it's supposed to leak out one side if you just cut the experiment in half. No, all you've done is just change the center of the experiment.
I think you've just misrepresented what we've been talking about, and you've just once again proved
that you didn't listen. Half, you change the center. You change the center.
It's one.
Now the center point is in the half. It's no longer in the center.
It's a water level. It's not an experiment. It's just a water level.
It's definitely a thought experiment, though, dude. It's definitely one of those because
a water level isn't a thought experiment.
It is when you start asking me what I think will happen. I don't know what plane of existence you live on, but it's not even the flat Earth because you're not making any sense. You're telling people to have a thought experiment with you, and then you're going, "It's not an experiment." Like that's some point of fucking contingency. Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. You're the only one that keeps bringing up an experiment.
I said it because you keep asking me, what do you think will happen if I now cut this in half? Now we're clearly dealing with
the water would piss out, wouldn't it? Because it's a water level.
No,
you cut it in half.
See, again, now you turned it into a thought experiment because you think a conclusion would happen.
Wow,
the water would piss out.
Grim, we're so beyond this bullshit.
Doing it on a flat.
Yeah,
Earth.
You're talking bullshit, and it's boring.
Yeah, can we talk about something else with someone else?
All right. Yeah.
Go over to Jose. He's begging for.
He left.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so done with that crowd of people.
Such hard work.
No argument and don't even want to hear.
That guy's the biggest
exhausting
piece of shit. Man.
But it was intriguing listening to the whole thing unfold. For me, anyway. As a, you know, just...
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
You twat. How do we know the Earth is not flat?
We don't. It's flat.
That was that.
Understanding of the world in which you live, then of course the world looks flat. The world looks flat. The world looks flat.
Neil.
Bitch. You twat.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
That's what I do. 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 What I do.
But I don't have much patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society.
My friends, these people are so out of touch with science. You don't need to be a scientist to know that the Earth is round.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash.